Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Jess, and today I want to be really honest with you about the fact that I do not follow carnivore by the book. And somehow I've still managed to lose weight, feel incredible, and actually stick with this way of eating for years now. I started carnivore back in 2019, and within the first 12 months, both my partner and I shed over 100 pounds combined. And looking back, that first year we were pretty much doing everything by the rule book. We were strict, we were dialed in, and it worked. But I'll be straight with you. It also made me a little obsessed in a way that wasn't entirely healthy, and eventually, that rigidity caused me to fall apart more than once. It wasn't until I watched a video from a creator named Dr. Leanna, who talked openly about the ways she bends the rules while still thriving, that something clicked for me. I'll link her content below because it genuinely shifted my perspective. Inspired by that, I've spent the last few years letting go of some of the carnivore laws that were stressing me out. And honestly, that's when everything finally became sustainable. So let me just rapid fire walk you through what I personally ignore, why it works for me, and where you might still want to keep the rules depending on your own situation and goals. First up, the sourcing obsession. For a long time, the carnivore world made it feel like if you weren't buying a half cow from a regenerative ranch and picking it up in a hemp tote bag, you were basically failing. That's just not realistic for most people, and it's definitely not how our household operates. We buy the majority of our meat from big box stores. We stock up during sales, we buy large primal cuts and slice them ourselves at home, and we are doing just fine. Supporting local farmers is wonderful when it's accessible. But conventional grocery store beef is still nutrient-dense, satisfying protein and fat, and it's kept us healthy for years. So please, don't let sourcing gatekeeping talk you out of even starting. Next, organ meats. I know. Liver is supposedly the most nutrient-dense food on the planet, and in 6+ years, I have never once eaten it, and I don't plan to. If you genuinely enjoy liver or heart or kidney, then absolutely go for it. But if the thought of it makes you want to quit carnivore entirely, then just skip it. I have blood work that says I'm thriving without it, and there are plenty of people in this space doing the same. Now here is one that really gets people fired up, and I fully expect comments on this. I drink diet soda. Specifically, I love a really cold, half-frozen diet soda in the morning, and I am not apologizing for it. There were stretches where I cut it out completely and genuinely noticed zero difference in my results, my energy, my sleep, or anything else. What I did notice was that I was snacking more because I was missing that little treat moment in my day, and diet soda fills that gap without sending me into a full food spiral. It's my thing, it brings me joy, and it fits my life. Along the same lines, I use flavored electrolytes now rather than forcing myself to drink plain, unflavored powder every single day. I went years drinking only the plain, unsweetened version because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And then one day, I tried a lemonade-flavored one and realized, oh, I would actually drink this every day and enjoy being hydrated, which is kind of the whole point. So find the version that makes you want to drink it, whether that's sweetened or not, because hydration matters more than electrolyte purity in the grand scheme of things. Seasonings and sauces are another area where I just don't stress anymore. We use garlic, onion powder, smoked paprika, taco-style blends, sugar-free hot sauce, sugar-free BBQ sauce, and a variety of marinades in our house regularly. The only thing I actually watch out for is hidden sugars, because those carbs do add up fast. Otherwise, seasoning my food well is a huge part of why I still want to eat this way after all these years. Flavorless food makes people quit diets, and I'm not interested in quitting. Same goes for eating out. I travel frequently and our family eats out regularly, and while I always try to order simple things like plain burger patties or grilled meat, sometimes the kitchen is using oils I wouldn't choose at home, and I just have to accept that and move on. The poison is in the dose, and a restaurant meal a couple of times a week is not going to undo years of clean eating at home. I eat rotisserie chicken that probably has some additives in it. I order eggs at diners, even when I know they're not cooked in butter. I live my life. I also use pre-shredded cheese, and I refuse to feel bad about it. Washing a box grater multiple times a week is not the life I'm building here, and the small amount of anti-caking agent in a bag of shredded cheese is simply not something I'm going to spend energy worrying about when I spent years eating truly terrible food. Here's a slightly contradictory pair of rules I break. I don't track my fat to protein macros at all, but I do pay attention to total calories when I feel off track. Carnivore culture loves to say, just eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, and I genuinely tried that for years. The problem is, I can always convince myself I'm hungry. Some months that meant I was chronically undereating and felt exhausted and moody without understanding why. And other months I was eating way too much cheese and butter, and the scale was creeping up, and I had no idea until I actually added up what I've been eating. So I don't track macros daily, but if my weight or energy or mood starts shifting in a way that doesn't feel right, checking my rough calorie intake is my first move, and it almost always gives me the answer immediately. Specific fat to protein ratios, though, I genuinely couldn't tell you what mine is on any given day, and it doesn't seem to matter for my goals. I do aim to hit a solid amount of protein to support muscle and bone health, but whether I'm at 60% fat or 75% fat that day, I'm not tracking it. On fasting, I believe in it, I practice it, but I keep it simple. I do occasional extended water fasts, and I think they're genuinely one of the most underrated tools in this whole space. But I'm not doing egg fasts or fat fasts or any of the specialty protocols. If I'm going to fast, I'm just going to fast. And the last rule I break that surprises people the most: I eat breakfast. Intermittent fasting in carnivore circles almost always means skipping breakfast and eating later in the day, and I did that for years. A few years ago, I flipped my window completely. I eat breakfast and lunch now, and I skip dinner, and it has been a total game changer for me personally. My hunger stays regulated all day. I sleep so much better without food in my system at night, and I just feel more energized and clear-headed than I did when I was skipping the morning meal. It's less common, but it works beautifully for my body and my schedule. And that's really the entire message of this video. Figure out what works for you specifically, not what works for the loudest voice in the carnivore community. We're all trying to get healthier, feel stronger, and actually enjoy our lives. And if that means Diet Coke and pre-shredded cheese and taco seasoning are part of the picture, then so be it. Drop a comment below and tell me which rules you break too. I'd love to know I'm not alone in this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.